Parties, of course, meeting for the first time in court today. It was about a 90-minute hearing.
This isn't going to end well for you, Blake. Sorry.
In a world where sometimes people judge you before they give you a chance.
The courtroom showdown between Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively has taken a dramatic turn, with Justin scoring a significant legal victory that has left Blake's team scrambling. This case, which started as a high-profile Hollywood dispute, is quickly turning into one of the most talked-about legal battles in the entertainment industry. From shocking allegations to aggressive legal strategies, this fight is only getting messier. Let's break down the latest developments in this case and what they mean for both sides.
All right, you guys, it is Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni Day. Finally, to all of the women out there that are watching, no matter what you do in life, you never, ever, ever go full Amber Heard. The conclusion here, I have said this since before, long before this ever broke out between her and Justin Baldoni. Blake Lively is not a good person, that she has proven herself not to be a kind person, okay? And that's largely due to the fact that she is a modern feminist, and so she has to create struggle where there just isn't any, okay? She has a track record of being difficult to work with, from Armie Hammer, who got fired from Gossip Girl because he said during a dinner that she was a bitch, regarding Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, when I just recognize that they are up on their high horses and that they potentially treat people very badly and that really they're bored and rich. Another circumstance that made me see right through Ryan Reynolds and the kind of person that he is, when despite being friends with Joe Alwyn, who dated Taylor Swift for 5 years, she's best friends with Blake Lively, Ryan and Blake and two other of her friends all staged a mass unfollowing of Joe Alwyn like they were 13 years old. Okay, Ryan, you're 48 years old. Grow up.
In just 90 minutes, Justin Baldoni achieved a crucial victory in court that set the tone for the rest of this legal battle. His legal team came prepared, and it showed. While this wasn't the final verdict, it was a major step forward, giving Justin the upper hand. Blake Lively's legal team, on the other hand, was visibly shaken. Their attempts to control the narrative failed, and the judges' rulings indicated that things weren't looking good for them. This win has intensified the already heated legal war, making it clear that Justin isn't backing down anytime soon.
And this thing is getting even more bizarre. One of the key allegations in her complaint against Justin Baldoni, she writes, on another occasion, Mr. Baldoni and Ms. Lively were filming a slow dance scene for a montage in which Mr. Baldoni chose to let the camera roll and have them perform the scene, but did not act in character as Ryle. At one point, he leaned forward and slowly dragged his lips and down her neck. Mr. Baldoni was caressing Ms. Lively with his mouth. When Ms. Lively later objected to this behavior, Mr. Baldoni's response was, "I'm not even attracted to you." Well, guess what? And you can hear Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni interacting as themselves. No such moment is shown. They're acting like lovers.
And my nose is so big.
Yes. That's her big harassment moment. They are playfully acting. She's completely flirtatious with him. He is flirtatious back, but they're talking about their spouses. She doesn't say, "Oh my God, you nuzzled me and said that I smell good." She, like, time and time again, she accuses him of doing something, which then when you hear the full context, she said, he came in my trailer while I was breastfeeding. Well, then he produced the text messages showing her saying, "I'm breastfeeding, come on over." She accused his producing partner of showing her pornography, absolutely non-pornographic. Can't see any body parts. You can just see that two people clearly are in a bathtub holding their baby. You tell me whether that's what that looks like to you. She wants us to believe this is actionable harassment.
This legal feud started with Blake Lively filing a massive $250 million lawsuit against Justin Baldoni, accusing him of misconduct. However, instead of caving under pressure, Justin responded with an even bigger $400 million countersuit, accusing Blake of defamation and extortion. These staggering amounts show just how high the stakes are. This isn't just about money. It's about reputation, credibility, and the power dynamics in Hollywood. With both sides refusing to back down, the courtroom has turned into a battlefield, and neither party is willing to surrender easily.
Where she filed her lawsuit against him, saying this is all retaliatory and asking the court to shut him and Brian Friedman up because they're trying to try this case in the media. The only reason this whole thing got started, before she filed the lawsuit, she clearly cooperated with the New York Times to leak the whole thing. Indeed, that's, Brian argues, the reason she went and filed the complaint with the Human Rights Division. She alleges that she's a Me Too victim there. That's absurd.
Blake's lawyers knew they were in trouble from the moment Justin's attorney, Brian Friedman, entered the courtroom. His aggressive approach left them struggling to keep up, and things only got worse when they attempted to silence him with a gag order. Their argument? That Fredman's constant media appearances were influencing public opinion. However, the judge saw right through this strategy and denied their request. This was a devastating loss for Blake's side, proving that the legal system wasn't going to play favorites. It was clear that Justin's team had the upper hand, and Blake's attorneys were losing control.
Which showed a very different meaning than the snippets that Blake Lively put in her complaint. And that what in fact happened was Justin didn't harass Blake. Blake was interested in wresting control of this movie away from Justin, who was the director and the producer. She was just an actress in it. And used threats and coercion and bullying to do it.
Justin Baldoni wasn't just fighting this case in court, he was taking the battle to the internet. His team launched a dedicated website to showcase evidence, including legal documents, messages, and even video footage to support his claims. Blake's lawyers were furious, arguing that this could unfairly sway public opinion, but Justin's team countered by reminding the court that Blake had taken her allegations to the media first, using major outlets like the New York Times. If she could use the press to shape the narrative, why couldn't Justin? Once again, the judge ruled in his favor.
Not seen a case so open and shut in my life, and the more that I read and the more details that I get into, I'm just shocked at how many lies were told, okay? This is about that narrative that I think they instantly started spinning. I believe that they are going to be able to prove in court that this was personal, and that's largely due to the fact that she is a modern feminist, and so she has to create struggle where there just isn't any, okay? She has a track record of being difficult to work with, from Armie Hammer, who got fired from Gossip Girl because he said during a dinner that she was a bitch.
One of the most telling moments of this legal battle was when Blake's lawyers attempted to control who would question her during her deposition. Clearly fearing a face-off with Brian Fredman, they requested that she be allowed to choose her own interrogator. But the judge wasn't having it. He ruled that Blake would have to answer questions from whoever was assigned, whether she liked it or not. This was a major setback for her legal team, as it signaled that she wouldn't be able to escape the tough questioning that was coming her way.
In fact, we've come across evidence that shows that even her own representatives knew that she was threatening and mean and tough and wanted to get her way. This is not something that we wanted out there. It's not something that Justin wanted out there. In fact, it hurts the movie. It doesn't help the movie.
In a shocking twist, the judge decided to merge both lawsuits into one case, eliminating any chances of a drawn-out legal battle. This means that instead of two separate cases, there will be one massive courtroom showdown where everything will be laid out at once. This is bad news for Blake because she has already lost multiple key rulings. If things continue in this direction, she could find herself facing devastating consequences when the trial officially begins in March 2026, unless a settlement is reached before then.
And we're carefully considering other people that will be sued also, and some of them will come as a surprise. Ryan Reynolds, for sure.
Oh, wow. Are you going to sue Blake Lively too?
Into oblivion, Megan.
Blake Lively's once flawless public image is starting to take a hit. While some fans still support her, others are beginning to question her motives. Meanwhile, Justin Baldoni is strategically positioning himself as the victim of a smear campaign. With each court victory, he is gaining more credibility, while Blake appears to be on the defensive. Hollywood is a place where perception matters just as much as reality. And right now, Justin is winning both in court and in the public eye. If Blake doesn't regain control of the narrative soon, she could find herself in an irreversible PR disaster.
Favorite part of what I've read of this suit so far is that Blake Lively did not even read the book that the movie was based on.
Correct.
And we're not talking War and Peace. This is a book that's probably written at a second grade reading level.
Yeah.
A loss in this lawsuit wouldn't just hurt Blake Lively's reputation, it could financially destroy her and her husband, Ryan Reynolds. The $400 million counterclaim filed by Justin is higher than their combined net worth, meaning a defeat could be catastrophic. Even with Ryan's considerable fortune, such a massive financial blow would leave a lasting impact. This raises the question, is continuing this legal battle worth the risk? If Blake loses, she could find herself not just facing a career crisis, but also a financial nightmare that could take years to recover from.
I identify as a feminist, right?
What do you make of that?
What I make of that is that if your wife is sexually harassed, you don't make fun of Justin Baldoni. You don't make fun of the situation. You take it very seriously. You file HR complaints. You raise the issue, and you follow a legal process. What you don't do is mock the person and turn it into a joke.
Hollywood is known for its scandals, but financial disasters are a different story. If Blake loses this case, it won't just be a legal defeat. It could mark the end of her career. Studios, brands, and directors may start distancing themselves from her, not wanting to associate with someone who has been found guilty of defamation and extortion. Unlike a typical PR scandal that fades over time, a massive court loss like this could be a permanent stain on her professional life. The damage wouldn't just be financial, it would be a complete loss of credibility in the industry.
Regarding Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, when I just recognize that they are up on their high horses and that they potentially treat people very badly and that really they're bored and rich. Another circumstance that made me see right through Ryan Reynolds and the kind of person that he is when, despite being friends with Joe Alwyn, who dated Taylor Swift for 5 years. She's best friends with Blake Lively. Ryan and Blake and two other of her friends all staged a mass unfollowing of Joe Alwyn like they were 13 years old. Okay, Ryan, you're 48 years old. Grow up.
While Justin has won several key rulings, the fight isn't over yet. There are still many twists and turns ahead, and anything can happen before the final verdict is reached. Both sides will continue to fight tooth and nail, and more shocking revelations could emerge. However, one thing is clear. Blake is in a vulnerable position, and unless she finds a way to turn things around, she could be facing one of the biggest downfalls in Hollywood history. The stakes are higher than ever, and this legal war is only just beginning.
I will happily participate in releasing any further leaks that they have. What does she have to fear if she's telling the truth?
With the trial scheduled for 2026, Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni still have time to prepare for the ultimate showdown. However, as things stand, Justin is gaining momentum, while Blake's legal team is struggling to keep up. If she doesn't change her strategy soon, she risks losing everything, from her reputation to her financial stability. The question remains, will she fight until the bitter end, or will she attempt to settle before things spiral further out of control? One thing is certain, this case is far from over, and the drama is only getting started. Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next one.